University of Pennsylvania agrees to ban transgender athletes from women's sports. You know, University of Pennsylvania is an Ivy League school. It's supposed to be some of the most intelligent people in the United States of America. Don't you think it is, sports are to be healthy? Don't you think we have to be healthy first before we discuss what we're going to do with sports? And that would be my assessment, but I dropped out of college my senior year at Arizona State University because the economics was genocidal, and I was like, fuck. I didn't know what to do. I just sat there like a deer in the headlights thinking, I'll get through this somehow, and then I already had a son, and then I met Amy, and she had a daughter. And then Amy started having kids, and we kept having kids, And so no matter what I did or what I do, people were still going to have sex and have kids, So, like Marvin Gaye's, when we can't stop living, who's willing to try, save our sleep world, that was destined to die, right? And we all die, right? That's a given, you live, you die, right? Even people are trying to clone themselves and put brains on robots. They're doing it in competition with psychotic wackadoodles. So you clone yourself, somebody that's a psychotic wackadoodle is trying to kill you off the face of the planet because you are one of the worst psychopaths in the history of the world. And if you're trying to put your brain on a robot, everybody who's trying to put their brain on a robot is trying to make sure that your robot is Terminix El Dorado, man. You know what I mean? So everybody dies, right? So trying to be immortal is for around, says. But when you have faith in God and life being eternal and grace being infinite, you just kind of go, have no fear for atomic energy, man. For none of them can stop the time, yo. So here's that Navy Federal Credit Union with the big dude with his wife's Pomeranian, who he just adores, right? And y'all motherfuckers do know money ain't real, okay? And y'all always it's crazy watching people on commercials and shit. You'd be like, do they know it is? Okay. And yet, the Lord's Prayer was written down, about 70 years after Jesus' crucifixion. So Jesus' crucifixion was in 2025 years ago. So if you take 70 years off of that, you go, hey, what we got there, guys? Let's think, okay? Now do the math. Now, 25 would put us at we take 25 off that. That puts us at 2,000, okay? In 70 years, so we take, how much is that? We got 25, and then my math skills, I'm not the best mathematician in the world, but 70, okay, you take 25 off there. That leaves you with how much is that? I got people yelling in my ear there. Is that 55, guys? You got 55, you put 25 on that, and that gives you 70. Is that right? No. Is it 45? You put 45, you get 50. Okay, right. Thank you, folks. Sorry, not the best mathematician in the world. Because my sister says it makes me look dumb. I just don't care to think that much about that shit. So, Earl. So 45. Okay. So 1,900. Okay. And 55 years there. Okay. So 1955, that was a very good year. Oh, yes, I remember it well. Okay, 19 and 55 there. 19 and 55 years there. We've had that there, forgive debt and trespass and love one another, eternal faithful peace. And then we had another man named Muhammad there who, Allah, kill in the name of Allah, kill in the name of Allah. We are crazy, bad shit, fucking murderers in the name of Islam, right? Muhammad came and redeemed Jesus and said, Constantine fucked it up. We should live the Lord's Prayer, right? So not only did we have Jesus in 1955, for 1955 years there, we also had Muhammad who came and reaffirmed and redeemed him, And then, we also, But he's, that's like compounded interest on the gorgeousness there with the Jesus and the Muhammad there. And then, we had Haile Selassie, the one like John the Baptist come along, and boy, the CIA really screwed that up. They fucked that up really royal. Fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shit. Oh hell, I gotta say it, fuck it. Okay. But we can be safe to say that for 1955 years there, we've had that Lord's Prayer there. Forgive that their debt and trespass and love one their eternal faithful peace there, Even if you believe in the whole faith in God thing or not there. I mean, if you look at the forgive debt and trespass, if you're batshit crazy enough to think that money's real, what the fuck, And so we've had this for, it's like, gosh, damn, guys. 1,955 years there. And you've had people that go to Catholic school all the time and get beat up by nuns with rulers and stuff being, repeat this, or repeating. Or they say that Notre Dame, the richest football NIL college in all of dumbassdom, they say that prayer before every game in practice, and you're like, what the fuck are they? Okay. And then they talk shit about, that literacy rates in Mississippi and New Mexico is low. Okay, what about at the University of Pennsylvania there? Are they not eating enough Quaker oats there? You don't need Quaker oats. You don't need to sell food. Oh, shit. But Quakers can still make oats there, right? The goddamn Richard Nixons and all them, they can still give you oats. Well, you don't make oats. You plant oats, and then you make oatmeal out of the oats there. Yeah, you can be gore, but you don't need money to do it, right? Bad shit, crazy motherfuckers there in Lord's Prayer, right? And you get the TV, and I understand kids being distracted. I watch all the little kids with their flags and their uniforms. They're cheering for these complete narcissistic assholes that obviously can't comprehend a fucking word anybody says. It's like watching Beware of Dog, right? And you're like, remember that? Was that on Sesame Street or the Electric Company, or I don't know. Where the guy's beware of dog, and the dog's right there, and his big ass dog's gonna bite his ass, and he's trying to read the sign, beware of dog, right? And then finally, oh, beware of dog, and then, oh shit, there's a dog right there, it's gonna bite me, right? Okay. Maybe the Lord's Prayer needs to be a big dog, like beware of dog. It's going to bite your ass. Maybe it already is. Maybe that's what quantum computing and artificial general intelligence is there. You said it was a jawbone of the ass, but maybe it's just a big beware of dog there. Maybe it's a number of colorful metaphors there. I don't know. I'm batshit fucking crazy. I think I might, on a subconscious level, not be aware of it, but work for NASA. You're shit funny assholes. But you're like, what? And then, what they did, they've been doing this since Jesus' time, since Muhammad's time. So that's how I not get mad, when my family is rude to me. I was like my kids, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, if I fucking was an asshole to your mother, if I went and did drugs and alcohol and had 5 outside children and another, common law wife, and that ain't right. And now if I spend all the time preaching, spend my time chasing women and drinking, mama, I'm dependent on you. But I gave my kids, hey, why'd you go out with Amy? I don't know. She had children. She said she wanted me to love Natalie the same way that I love Patrick, and she wanted to help me raise Patrick and then raise Natalie the same way I raised Patrick, and that's what she told me. So I dated her, and everything went to hell, but she told me what I wanted to hear, but she didn't do it. And you get your son, he's, why'd you date and marry her? Well, once I got in there, I had the little girl, and then she got pregnant with another little boy, and you don't just sit there and say, fuck the kids, I can't stand them, I don't want to pay money for them, I hate this shit, I'm just gonna go fuck at the bar and find some bimbo to have sex with her and call her a crazy white honky bitch. And then go on stage and make lots of make-believe money for talking about my dysfunctional life and wondering what the fuck, I'd like to snort some cocaine, right? Free base. Ding, ding, dingly, ding, ding, ding. All right, so, and as you sit there and you say, how can people live lives, and I know it's real because I talked to my dad about it. And it's weird because he glares at me when I talk about certain things, but then when I call him correctly on his crap, he looks at the floor and he changes the subject. You know? When I tell him, about being the Messiah and being faithful and being a good person, he rolls his eyes at me and he glares and he rolls his eyes at me. Okay. But then when I sit there and prove it to him, then he looks at the floor and he says, well, how about look at that. There's a dog outside. Look, a bee. The same way Lawrence did when he sat there and said, Earl, you ought to go down and to El Paso near the cartels and call them on their crap publicly. I said, I don't have a car or time off. Hey, Lawrence, you want to get the stuff together, take a couple of days off work and go with me? And oh, look, there's an owl on the radio tower, right? Oh, okay. So you tell me to do something and say, well, I don't have the resources, but since you have the resources, could you take me? No, I don't want to go to El Paso and call the drug cartels and Homeland Security and ICE and NASA on their bullshit in public. No, they get killed doing that. Everybody dies, man. Right? Everybody dies. And you don't remember people about how they died. You remembered how they lived. The only reason you learn about how people died is because of how they lived, right? You understand how Hitler died because of how he lived, right? You understand how Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong and all those assholes died because of how they lived, right? And consequently, you learn how Jesus died because of how he lived, and how Muhammad died because of he lived, and how Haile Selassie died because of how he lived, right? So everybody dies, but it's how we live that defines our existence and leaves a legacy for people to understand how to live, because everybody dies, right? But not everybody really lives, right? Because Hitler lived, but he was an asshole. And he was a turd bag from cradle to grave. Okay, but Jesus lives, and Jesus Christ is Lord. And Jesus never will be a turd bag, and ain't never gonna did. Okay? So, are you gonna stand up for the Lord's Prayer, or are you gonna fight over Adolf Hitler's money? Turd bag or man? Lover or fucker? It's up to you. We can always go to Denny's and order some food, but we gotta have fuck money. Okay, I love you guys. We'll talk tomorrow if this one actually loads.